Hey guys, welcome back to Top 5. Today we have a special segment, special because I'm on it, Anika's on it, and it's called Study Break. So we have a little study break session. We're gonna talk about anxiety in sports, we're gonna talk about dealing with injuries in sports, and we're also gonna talk about faith in sports. So be sure to pay attention. We have a lot of good information. So Anika, introduce yourself, tell your name, sport, year, major.
Yes.
Just a short little intro.
I'm Anika. I play on the women's soccer team here at UCLA. I'm a junior, but a redshirt sophomore, and I'm a political science major.
Yeah, super cool. So let's first talk about this painted image. I think a lot of athletes, collegiate athletes as a whole, have put on them. It's this perception where it's like you live this perfect life, right?
Yeah.
Did a lot of people tell you that, kind of like growing up like in high school? Yeah, that's some of them.
Yeah, so I grew up on the national teams, and so everyone was like, oh my god, Anika, like you're going to UCLA, like you're going on the USA team, like you have this perfect life, like you, like nothing's gonna go wrong,
It's
like
all put
everything's
together,
awesome.
everything's good, yeah,
like you're just doing great. And I was like, yeah, like it's cool, it's like it's fun, but it's really not that perfect, I promise.
Yeah, and people, especially nowadays, like even on Instagram, you see that. It's like, that's not, like social media, okay, disclaimer, everyone should know this, but social media is not an accurate representation of everybody's life. So,
That part.
Yeah.
It's a lie.
Yeah. So, yeah, get that out of your head. But going off of that, I think that incites a lot of like stereotypes and a lot of pressure as competitive athletes we put on ourselves as well.
Yeah.
And you have a blog.
Yes.
We'll put it down below, but a lot on the blog you talk about your anxiety.
Yeah.
Do you think this perception of like having this perfect life that people think you have contributes to that?
Yeah, I mean, I went through a lot of hard stuff, but I felt like I could never really share it because then my life wouldn't be perfect anymore, and I would ruin that image for like little girls or like my friends who thought I was having like this perfect life that I couldn't like share what I was really struggling with, because then they would like see me as something different, and I don't know, I was just like really concerned with how people would look at me and just like making sure I maintain this image of perfection with everyone, that I just kind of let myself get like trapped in it.
But it is really hard because a lot of athletes, especially when you get to this level of collegiate athletics, it's kind of like people look up to you. Yeah. And so it's kind of like you want to maintain that like strong image all the time, but it's not perfect. No one's life is perfect, and so we all have our ups and downs. That's something always to remember when we're looking up to people. And so let's go to one of your blog posts, actually. The date you're talking about is uphill from here. Yeah. You talk about February 27th, 2015.
Yes.
Yes, so it was a really hard time. So you consider this a time when it was like you hit rock bottom. You got injured, you tore your ACL.
Yes.
And you're told, in the doctor's office, you're told you have 9 months, you can't play your sport. And there's a quote, actually, I want to read. And you said, you realize, so the doctor told you have 9 months, you're going to have to not be able to play your sport, you have to register. And you say, everything after that was a blur. I needed to leave the office, I felt trapped. My mom scheduled my surgery and we left. I was in the car, she was in hers. I needed my time to process, time to cry, time to talk with God. What happened mentally during those 9 months? What was that like for you?
Yeah, wow. I actually just wrote a blog about this, so that'll be up soon-ish, hopefully. But those 9 months were everything from some of the worst moments I've ever had to some of the best moments I've ever had, which sounds kind of weird, but I mean, having to like reteach yourself how to walk is something that you never thought you'd ever have to do. And so like mentally, like it was degrading to like think that like I had this perfect life and I was like this confident, like strong person, and like people saw me as that. And then to have to like reteach myself how to walk is like something that was like super hard for me. Yeah. And I spent 2 weeks in bed. So like, I don't know, it was something that I was looking outside, I couldn't walk, I couldn't move, I couldn't leave my bed.
So it's more than just like you can't do your sport. There's just like so many things you can't do.
It was just like so much of having to like restart over that I didn't think that I had to do ever again. I mean like, and so I had to like figure out how to get myself out of this state of like pitying myself into something where like I was able to like run for the first time, and like that was one of the best moments that I had in that 9 months, because like I never thought that I would have gotten there. So like that was something super special.
Yeah, I know a lot of athletes who go through injuries. If you're out there and you're currently going through one, I'm pretty sure everyone has been through one, but a big struggle is being able to trust yourself again after an injury. And you came back and had an amazing season, offensive Pac-12 freshman, and so how did you get that like confidence back, you know, to like trust your body, to go after that ball, you know?
So definitely, like, I talk about it briefly in my corner, in my blog, and like there were just people who consistently poured into my life, and they were like, hey Anika, like you're a strong person, like God made you strong, like hey Anika, like you're enough, like God made you enough. And I was like, okay, like the more people told me that, I started to believe it. And like I went to UTC and I relearned everything and I saw my sport in a different light. And I think being able to have those 9 months where I had to reteach myself, and then going to UTC and relearning my sport, being able to like combine those two, and then actually getting to play my first collegiate like year in season in my sport was just like exactly how God had planned it.
So it ended up actually working out perfectly. So how did that experience for you, can you describe it a little bit? How did that change your approach to your sport? I know it changed mine like drastically. But I mean, I got to be a part of that, which is super awesome for you. And like being there to like witness that was super cool. But I think that before I tore my ACL, I was playing to like make my dreams come true. And like there were goals I had wanted to accomplish, and like I wanted to be this kind of player. And then I tore my ACL, my life was like drastically different. And I went to UTC and they were like, look, like your sport is great and all, but at the end of the day, like this is what we get to do to like praise a God that is like we are unworthy of that. But like we get to like try and like be somewhat worthy in like doing that through our sport. And so I was like, oh my gosh, like wow, like this isn't about me, like this isn't about my dreams or my goals, this is about something so much bigger. And we learned all the principles, and the one that just like really stuck with me the most was like hurting for certain, which is like I was like, wow, like all right, this is me, I'm right here, like I definitely just did that. That's one of the key principles, right?
And so we did that principle, did that lesson, then we go into the special, and I was like, all right, like I don't know if my knee can handle the special. Like I was like, I just got cleared like a month ago, and so I was like, all right, like God will get me through this, hopefully.
The special, just it's a 24-hour or
21 hour.
Yeah, just like athletic competition all around. Like just like you're going from competition to competition straight for like 20 hours. So it's pretty crazy. Justin's shaking her head in the back.
It's a no for me, bro.
It's supposed to really kind of break you though, so you apply these principles, and that's one of the craziest things about the camp UTC.
So in those 20 hours, the first like I would say like 5 or 6, I was like, all right, I can do this by myself, like I'm good. Then you get to like hour 11 and 12 and 13, you're like, I don't think I can make it through this thing. And at one point we're doing sprints like back and forth, and I was like, I just can't do this, like I'm done. And I sat there, and like in the back of my head, God was like this is like, you're gonna feel this like repetitively throughout your season, throughout your life, like that you're not gonna be able to make it, and like you won't reach the end of the tunnel, but like I have the rest. I was like, all right, cool. I just kept running, somehow finished everything, did my mile, and was holding the plank of wood at the end, and I just had like this surreal experience with God where it was just like he has my back, and I know he does, and like his plans are good. And even though those 9 months were super hard, like I needed to be in that vulnerable place to really have like grasped what UTC was about.
I was talking to you about this the other day, and you said something that really stuck with me, and it was endless hallelujah. Can you explain what that means to you?
So I actually got that phrase when I was at UTC the second time interning, right before I went into my season, and you guys were running, and I looked in the corner, and some athlete, like some camper I had no idea, like hadn't seen him at all, was just sitting in the corner, like hands up. I was like, wow, like endless hallelujah, like this is what it looks like. And so throughout my season, I like definitely had like some really good moments and then some really bad moments, and the constant phrase that just kept coming back was endless hallelujah. That like even in my lowest of lows, in my worst games, like God doesn't care. Like, it's still praise. Like, it's still worship. It's still something I get to do to like worship my God who like is so deserving, you know. And then like in my highest of highs, it's still praise. Like, it's still worship. It's in like, it's a continuous, endless, like every breath I breathe is praise.
Yeah.
So,
That reminds me of something my dad always told me. It was never let the highs get too highs or the lows get too lows.
Yeah.
And that's so important in your sport, honestly, because there's going to be moments where you have a breakthrough and everything's great, but there's a lot of moments where it's not so great. And so it's important just to be able to like have fun and not take it always so serious all the time, because it doesn't always go perfect. So there's no reason to put all that extra stress on you as well. Sure. And then also, as a tradition, I'm going to ask you a top 5. So I know you like love coffee.
I love coffee. Oh my God, that's my favorite thing ever.
Top 5 coffee shops.
Yes.
Can be anywhere. So I know you know some in Seattle too. I know you know some little here or there.
All right.
Anywhere.
Wow.
In any order.
Okay. Number 1.
This is hard for you.
Shoot, this is really hard. I'm gonna go this place in Seattle. I went with JC. Shoot, I can't remember the name, but we had it before our game against UW. Best coffee I've ever had in my whole life.
Okay.
Like, I was like, wow, I would move to Seattle for this coffee.
Well, we're going, so
Yeah.
we'll stop by.
Yes, I'm gonna look it up so I can send it to you. You definitely have to go. Number 2, I'm gonna go with Bondi Harvest in Santa Monica.
Okay.
They have good lavender lattes.
I've been there, but I've never had their like lattes or anything. Okay.
Lavender latte, delicious. Number 3, there's a place in Reno, Nevada that makes.
Wow, we're like really switching.
I've been to some good coffee places. Let me tell you, we go at least. So we find a coffee place every single time we go on a road trip.
Well,
It's like a thing.
Yeah.
Me and my team, we do this all the time. It's incredible.
Yeah, like Reno, yeah.
Yes, it's a place in Reno. It's kind of like a hole in the wall. They have incredible dirty chai lattes.
Okay, that's what I need to hear. I love chai.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, dirty chai from Reno. Kind of like a random place to have a really good dirty chai.
Right.
But okay, and then I'll go number 4, Ministry of Coffee in Westwood for all my Bruins. You got to go there. It's really good coffee.
Yeah, I've never heard of this place either.
And the Trader Joe's. It's kind of new, but you got to get.
I have seen it. I have seen it. Yeah.
Go vanilla latte with oat milk.
With oat milk.
Yes.
Okay.
It's good. Key is oat milk because it doesn't have like the milky taste.
Yeah.
But it still has like a texture.
Okay.
I don't know. It's like a. And number 5. Wow. The Boy and the Bear, Redondo Beach. Incredible coffee.
Incredible.
I mean, all coffee's incredible.
Yeah. The Boy and the Beach. Okay.
The Boy and the Bear. The Boy and the Bear.
The Boy and the Bear.
The Boy and the Bear.
So you heard it first from our coffee experts. Thank you guys so much for joining once again. Hope you got something special out of this segment. Comment, what really stuck out to you, anything else you want us to really talk about. Know you're never alone in any struggles that you go through, and we're all here for each other, so it's all love. So thank you again, Anika.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.